Hey guys, it's Total War Master here. Thanks for stopping by, and today I'm bringing you all another Napoleon Total War battle. This is going to be our 16th battle on this channel. We're going to have Great Britain versus Prussia here. I'm going to put this on slow motion so I can quickly go over the army comps. When I mean quickly. So I'm bringing 2 companies of rifles, 2 companies of light foot, 6 companies of foot, a general's staff, 2 companies of Highland foot, 42nd Foot and Foot Guards, as well as 1 regiment of King's German Legion. I wanted to have some sort of cav just so I could take the hill here. My ally side, he's bringing 4 companies of rifles, 2 companies of King's German Legion, 4 companies of regular foot infantry, the 42nd Foot Guards, Major General Picton, Royal Scots Greys, and some Highland foot. On to our enemy here. He's going to be going fairly infantry heavy on this one. He's bringing 4 companies of Silesian Schützen, 4 companies of musketeers, 2 companies of foot guards, and that's well, bringing some cuirassiers and a regular general's unit. So on to our other enemy's army. He's bringing 4 companies of Jaegers, 6 companies of, well, no, I take it back. 4 companies of Musketeers, 2 companies of Foot Guards, 2 companies of the 8th Life. I think there's 2 of them. No, only 1. I think you can only bring 1 of these guys. So yeah, 1 company of 8th Life. These guys, I don't know how to pronounce it. A general staff and some dragoons. So yeah, that's about it. I do want to take a word of precaution though, guys. This battle is a little bit long. Well, actually, you know what? I take it back. It's just the fact that there is going to be some camping on this hill, but I am going to fast forward through it, and it shouldn't take that long to get back to the battle. So the battle is going to begin fairly quickly here. As you can see on my side, like I said, I normally put cav here because most enemies tend to stay away if there's cav up here, but he didn't. And I didn't want to charge because, 1, he could get in the squares just like he did right now. I didn't want to, you know, hurt my cav. I didn't want to get rid of him this early in game. And most of the time what I like to do is I like to just slowly but surely march my guys over there. That way I can have the stamina advantage. Because normally the enemy has to run over here, and I just march. So by the time they get up there, they're pretty tired and winded and stuff, and my guys are fresh. But I lost it because I had to basically run my guys over there to get to the hill. So they're going to start opening fire on these Jaegers and musketeers here. Same goes for my ally, but he's in kind of more of a predicament because he has his guys spread out a little bit more. And not only that, he's letting his opponent on his side flank the shit out of him. You can see it because he's starting to march his guys along here. And not only that, he's taking tremendous losses here. But so am I, but not as much as my ally. So here I take my rifles and I put them in light infantry behavior. That way I can put my foot guards or foot units here, just so I can get some extra fire on there. I didn't want to do it with these guys because I only had 1 regiment, and I didn't want to take them away from their fire. Here I'm just constantly trying to charge back and forth my cav here just to get him in squares so I could get the shootout on him. Along here, he was trying to march some guys up to flank me. At this point, I was like, oh, no. So I moved up some foot infantry regiments here to kind of slow them down. And they did exactly what I wanted them to do. They slowed them down while I could try and take out most of Prussia's guys up here, which we are kind of doing. We took out 1 of his Jaeger units. My goal here was to take out both Jaeger units here. That way he could kind of lose the skirm advantage at this point. So I only have 1 skirm unit up here, and he only has 1 skirm unit up here, but he kind of has the the regular infantry advantage over here. So I was kind of calling on my ally to help out a little bit, which he did eventually, but he was so focused on this side here that he didn't really want to support me on that side, which is okay. I kind of understand that, but he's not really playing up to par. As you can see, he's doing what I like to do, put my skirms in front of my infantry, but I don't like to do it to this extent because I know it's just a waste of lives at this point. So here he's trying his best to flank the enemy. It might have worked if he moved his guys up a little bit more, but he had them stop there, and now they're just shooting at the terrain. So here you can see he finally got his guys over there. His rifles, unfortunately, are coming under friendly fire. So I didn't see it, but because I was kind of multitasking between here and here, I didn't see them charging into my rifles and foot units here, which I don't think I would have gotten to a square anyway, because I think at a certain number of men, you can't put them at a square. And I was reluctant to charge my cav in there because I didn't want to add insult to injury and kill more of my guys than the initial enemy cav charge did. So I just charged them into the musketeers, and they didn't get in the square quite as quick as I thought they would. And we're going to go ahead and end up routing this regiment. So here I moved up my light foot and my rifles to kind of act like wave breakers here. That way it would kind of deter them from marching up a little bit more. And they kind of do their job. I have to admit, I was a little bit amazed at how well my foot actually held out. Especially against this cav charge that's about to happen, or that's happening right now anyway. So here my allies basically beat to a pulp. We have a massive cav charge from Prussia here. I wish he would have put his guys into a square form, but I guess he didn't really see it. He is doing a good job on this musketeer regiment, though. So he did the smart move, though. He moved all of his guys into this house, which will actually serve its purpose later on in game, and y'all will see what I mean. But here he finally got his guys into a square form. I was delighted to see that. So he's charging his cuirassiers.
Our men are running, sir.
Oh yeah, I tried to save his cav by charging my cav into these guys, but it didn't really work too well for me. Which I don't know why they didn't get the charge bonus. So here, I don't want to say it's going good for either of us because it's kind of at a stalemate. But I now want to say that it is going well for me because I was glad that we cleared this hill of any undesirables that were around. So it gave me a chance to start flanking and hit them where it hurts along the sides here. So his 8th life, he's going to pretty much waste the 8th life's life. That was a bad pun, I know. But he's going to basically waste his regiment on my Highland foot, which I quickly got into a square. Try and hold out. So my guys were actually doing a good job. Like I said before, I can't believe how long my foot regiments held out against the Prussian regiments here. But we do end up routing them. But he is marching up fresh troops. At this point, I think he's like, you know what, this isn't worth it. He has the better troops and the numbers.
All its ammunition, sir.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and pull my guys back, which is what he did. So here's pretty much the last of my allies, like working regiments here are gone. Though the rest of them are either put into the house or just scattered around. But he did manage to kill his general though, which is nice. Big morale boost for us. Very, very low drop in morale for them. So here we took a break from the fighting. My guys needed to rest a little bit, and his did too. So this is where it gets a little bit to the part where it's kind of camping. I do kind of camp a little bit here, I'm not gonna lie. Only because me and my ally at first thought we were going to lose this one. And it does come fairly close, I will admit it, it does. Because I mean, just look at the strength that Prussia has over me and my ally. And not only that, if used correctly, Prussia can be a devastating force. Especially since they can just reload and fire over and over and over again. So it just puts a lot of pressure on regiments. So Prussia is intent on taking this house here. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to charge 5 regiments of musketeers right into this house. To those of you who don't know, Great Britain has fairly good melee fighters. They don't match up to the Russians, but they can get the job done when it comes to melee. But just to add extra support and to make up for the fact that I couldn't support him at all on his side, I sent in two foot regiments that were out of ammo. So this was basically the perfect opportunity to use them. So these musketeers didn't even make it into the house. Let's just fast forward it a little bit more. So my guys are not only winded and tired, but they're also taking fire from the Silesian Schützen. I didn't want them to rout as soon as they got there, so I was like, oh shit, I better get him in there. So what was cool was that these guys actually halted the reinforcing troops that were going into this house there. So I know that kind of took the pressure off of my ally a little bit, because they weren't getting reinforcing troops into the house. They're gonna get hit. There goes the drummer. Poor drummer. There goes another soldier. Stabbed right in the heart. So Persia basically lost the battle for this house, and he also kind of basically wasted half of his army at this point here. All he has left is some Silesian Schützen and some foot guards, but that's about it. And I have to say this, I just can't hold it. Prussia used these Silesian Schützen so badly that I kind of wanted to. I actually felt bad because he used these guys so, like, really badly. He didn't use them right, and I mean, he could have actually won. They could have actually murdered my troops if they used them right, which they didn't. They just had them limping around the map for a little while. So basically, like I said before, I know it's camping, but I'm gonna try and cover it up by saying it's a strategic position. So I mean, hey, you might as well take it while you got it. So I was really hoping that Prussia would attack me, because my right flank is fairly weak. All I have protecting it is Highland Foot and Black Watch. That's about it. Which could easily be overwhelmed by these thick number of troops here. But I already had a plan for what I was going to do. I was going to march these 2 foot units, have them right along here, and basically destroy whatever line infantry units that were there. But that wasn't happening. He wasn't intent on attacking, because I had the strongest. I had the strength in numbers. I'm like, dude, you have an ally over there that could basically destroy the shit out of me if he used those Silesian Sitzen right. But I guess his ally didn't want to help him out. So here he's going to try and test out my strength here. He's going to send in 2 musketeer regiments to try and take on my Black Watch. So the Black Watch are going to put down some fire on these musketeers. I'm moving up some foot guards to get on some fire from these onto these musketeers. They do get a little bit of kills, not a lot, but they do get a few. At this point, Prussia's like, oh hell no, he's too powerful. So we're just going to go ahead and retreat. And he's going to march into these wooded areas here, which kind of threw me off, because obviously troops kind of, you know, troops kind of actually they do get hidden in the forests area, so it kind of threw me off a little bit.
Sir, our general is under attack.
So here goes the Silesian Sitzen. This is why I don't necessarily consider generals as cav units, even though they are on horseback. It's because they don't have the cav potential. I charged my general staff into the Silesian Sitzen, and I basically lost 5 or 6 guys from that charge. I don't know if it was because the wood slowed them down or what, but they should have won that. But, you know, that's why I don't consider generals as cav units, so. Fast forward. Oh yeah, forgot to mention that part. Come on.
Men are running,
there we go. Prussia sent in the last of his infantry regiment. They were elite units. They were foot guards. So I knew I had to send in somebody to help with the morale. So I sent in my general to help out some morale with those troops, and it does work. They do get morale. A lot of morale, so they can take on these foot guards. So bye-bye, foot guards, and hello, vigorous waiting.
One of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
So I had my rifles just blank firing on these musketeers here. I didn't really have a use for my rifles. Here I moved up the Highland Foot, and I'm moving up my regular foot infantry as well. My initial plan was to actually not only, well, my initial plan was basically to move forward with the rest of my men. I wanted to have my guys march forward, but I didn't know he was going to take the initiative and march forward at me to try and take the shots. But what's nice about this is that they're firing at my foot regiments here, which is really nice, because that means my Highland Foot get a chance to start firing. And we all know Highland Foot in this game is they're pretty OP. So here I marched up my foot regiments along here. I wanted to try and flank them on the back, but he had a reinforcing regiment here, and I was like, okay, looks like I'm going to have to fight him. So I put him along here so we can start firing on the musketeers here.
Our men are running, sir.
So they're going to get off the first volley. So Prussia is basically not boxed in, but they are in a predicament at this point. Because they're taking fire from all sides at this point. They're taking fire from my guys here. They're taking fire from my guys to the front. Not only that, I have a reinforcing foot guard regiment that's about to... a reinforcing foot guard and 42nd Black Watch regiments that are coming in to help. So to help with morale, I did bring my general up too. So, again, realizing how many men I was starting to pull out of my hilly ass here, he decides to go ahead and retreat. This is where he starts going into the woods. I did make the mistake of before saying he was going into the woods. That was my bad. So he starts going into the woods here. Tiny little skirmish between the Silesian Schutzen and the foot guards here. I basically let my ally finish off the Silesian Schutzen, and I wanted him to finish off the foot guards, but they were taking so long to do it. I was like, okay, you know what, I might as well do it. So, I mean, look at this. So, at this point, I was like, okay, you know what, screw it. I know I'm going to kill your guys, but oh well. It's better than just sitting there and waiting. I do admire how long these guys lasted, though. So, goodbye, foot guards. So here I'm getting my guys in position for my last and final assault on Prussia here, because literally, basically, they have nowhere else to go. Prussia's basically defeated at this point. They should just sit here and accept their defeat instead of playing the cat and mouse game. So, I'm gonna have my foot guards start firing on these musketeers. Getting some good kills. Oh, I missed this. Basically, me and him just collided our musketeer and foot regiments together, and I was kind of worried that they would win. So I got this foot unit on standby, ready to charge from behind if they did win. So, like I said, Prussia's basically defeated here. Like I said, there's basically no use in playing the cat and mouse game anymore. There's nowhere you can really run, so you might as well just take your ass raping. So these two regiments are gonna kick off the final assault. Then I'm gonna move up my Highland, 42nd, and Light and other Highland foot regiments in. And these guys are going to come under tremendous fire from both musketeer regiments that he has hidden in those woods here. But fortunately, I was able to get my Black Watch over there to support. I'm just going to start calling them Highland from now on, because I hate distinguishing between Highland and Black Watch. So he has his guys in kind of a crescent formation, and I have to say it was a bitch to start routing these troops. It really was. It took like 7 volleys from these guys each, so 14 volleys total on both of these guys each. So
one of our units has used all its ammunition, sir.
Once they ran out of ammunition, I was like, okay, they have to break from this charge. They have to break from this charge. So I charged them into the musketeers, and I was pretty glad that they held out for as long as they did to charge in, because I thought they were gonna rout.
Our men are running, sir.
So he was going to send in some musketeers to charge into my foot, but I countercharged. Damn right, get some footmen. I also charged in my Highland foot, supporting my foot into these musketeers. At this point, it was just a literal charge,
Glorious victory, sir, is soon to be yours.
followed by shots, pike and shot.
Sergeant, is it me? Are they trying to kill us?
So Prussia's guys trying to hold, but they're just coming under tremendous fire from my Black Watch guys. So basically, mass chain rout. His general starts routing, as well as the troops that we're holding here. So, good game to my opponents and my ally, King Potato, Jerkoff McGee, and General Thomas Picton. Yes, he was in the game with me. Just a few things I wanted to talk to you guys about. Where's the Darth Mod campaign? Like I said before, guys, I just do not have time to deal with the long-ass battles. I'm still trying to figure out how I can maybe lower the morale a little bit to the point where they don't return like that. But I mean, I'm figuring next weekend, or this weekend or next weekend, y'all should get the campaign video up, or y'all should be getting the campaign video, because it's not like I'm giving up on it. I'm not giving up on that. You know, I'm never going to give up on that campaign, because that campaign is too good to give up on. But I did make I'm just going to call it a straw post, because I don't know what it's called, but I just made like a straw post, or whatever it's called, because you guys were so you guys really liked the Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle-earth gameplay that I did, so I figure I'm going to do a campaign. The hardest thing is that choosing which part of the campaign to be good or evil. So the straw post is basically you guys are going to vote for good or evil. I'm not going to do it if I don't get more than 10 votes, because there's really no point in doing it, because that tells me that not a lot of people really care. So I won't. I am going to give the straw post until, I guess, Friday. Friday will be the deadline, and then I'll tally up everything, and whichever side wins, wins. Personally, I like evil. Doesn't mean you have to choose evil. I just like evil. So, anyway, guys, go ahead and vote. The link to the straw post should be below in the description. So anyway, guys, this is Todor Master signing off.